From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Monday, May 9th. Going to have mostly sunny skies today, beautiful day with highs around 80 degrees. We will have some wind gusts around 25 miles per hour. Indianapolis firefighters rescue a dozen people from an apartment fire. It happened around 3:30 this morning on Green Ash Court, just east of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Firefighters say that about 50 people were evacuated. Crews had to use ladders to get 12 people out. IFD says one person went to the hospital for smoke inhalation but isn't seriously hurt. Crews tell us the fire started in an apartment with a mother and her 3 young children. Investigators are working to figure out the cause. IMPD says a driver crashed into a business after she fell asleep at the wheel. So it happened on Georgetown Road north of 71st Street around 11 o'clock last night. The business manufactures race cars. Investigators say the driver was not hurt and no one was inside the building at the time. IPS will reinstate a mask mandate at CFI 84, a Center for Inquiry school that is K through 8th grade. It's due to a surge in COVID cases, according to the school. The district released a statement saying there have just been a lot of positive cases among students and staff, and IPS adds that safety is a top priority. It has 450 students and 28 teachers there at CFI 84. It's according to the National Center for Education stats. The mask mandate comes as Indiana sees a rise in positive cases among children. According to the State Health Department, the 7-day average rose to 110 cases on Friday. That's up 30 from the week before. Most youth cases are children between 12 and 17 years old. More than 330,000 Indiana children have tested positive overall. More than 1.1 million children are fully vaccinated in Indiana. The mandate will last through May 24th, which is the last day for students at IPS. We now know the name of the 5-year-old boy who died after being pulled from a creek near Brownsburg over the weekend. The Hancock County Sheriff's Office says 5-year-old Yoel Michael likely drowned. It happened Saturday afternoon near Hidden Hills Lane off 56th Street. Deputies say Yoel was playing outside his home with other kids when he and his 3-year-old sister went into a nearby creek with what they say relatively rapid moving water. Rescue crews pulled Yoel from the water. He died at the hospital. His 3-year-old sister was released from the hospital after treatment. The coroner's office is now conducting an autopsy, but preliminary findings do indicate that Yoel drowned. A man is facing multiple charges in Lafayette after police say they found him unconscious in a stolen vehicle in the middle of an intersection. It happened around 10:30 Saturday night on County Road 500 East. State police say they found Bradley Kane passed out in the driver's seat with the gear in drive. A police dog also found meth, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia inside the vehicle. The owner now has the vehicle back. ISP says that Kane is in jail for drugs and theft charges. IMPD says at least 7 people are wounded after 6 shootings in 24 hours. The most recent happened overnight on Tremont Street. IMPD says that victim was grazed and is in good condition. Police also responded to shootings on Elder and Leslie Avenues, Towpath Lane, and Charrington Drive. IMPD also says 2 people showed up to Eskenazi Hospital who'd been shot. IMPD says all the victims are either stable or awake and breathing. Police have not released possible suspect information for any of the shootings. A man at the center of a standoff in Fort Wayne is in the hospital this morning. Police say they were called to a domestic situation at an apartment on the south side of the city just before 7 yesterday morning. Officers say a potentially armed man barricaded himself inside. Several hours later, the man jumped from a second-story window and was taken into custody. Police have not released that man's name, but say he does have non-life-threatening injuries. High winds are making a New Mexico wildfire fight extremely difficult. A red flag warning is in place through tonight, which indicates a high fire danger due to heat, low humidity, and fast winds. So far, at least 300 homes are destroyed, and more than 20,000 structures are threatened. Crews have stopped the fire from spreading to the area's largest city of Las Vegas. Still, 13,000 residents under some sort of evacuation order there. Both the Hermit's Peak and Calf Canyon fires have burned more than 275 square miles. That is more than twice the size of Philadelphia. The fight over abortion rights is heading to the Senate floor. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he will file a motion today on a bill to codify Roe v. Wade. Then a vote could happen later this week. It comes as protests continue over the weekend after the leaked Supreme Court draft decision overturning Roe v. Wade. People opposed to the draft marched to the homes of Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Brett Kavanaugh in Maryland on Saturday. Passing an abortion rights bill is an uphill battle in the Senate. Democrats would need 60 votes, which would mean there would have to be some Republican support.
I think Roe v. Wade created a constitutional right that doesn't exist in the written Constitution. It's created division from the first day it was decided until now.
If America's people, America's women and men who love them, do not fight, right now we will lose the basic right to make decisions, to have bodily autonomy, and to decide what our futures look like.
13 states have so-called trigger laws, which would quickly ban abortion if Roe is overturned. Indiana is not one of them. Russian President Vladimir Putin calls military action in Ukraine a necessary response to Western policies. Putin spoke at a military parade on Russia's Victory Day, which marks the World War II victory over the Nazis. He said Russia is fighting for its security in Ukraine. And this comes after a Russian bomb flattened a Ukrainian school that was being used as a shelter. Officials say they believe more than 60 people were killed. They say about 90 people were sheltering in the basement. Emergency crews were able to rescue 30.
I got slammed down by a slab, bent into a ball. Then another explosion, small rocks sprinkled, darkness. Then I looked, and the dust settled, and a ray of light appeared.
The Secretary General for the United Nations called the bombing a reminder that civilians pay the highest price in war. According to officials, Russian shelling also killed 2 boys in a nearby town that Russian forces are working to capture. They say the boys were 14 and 11. The death toll from a hotel explosion in Cuba is at least 30. That's according to the Cuban Health Ministry. 13 people are still missing. The Cuban government shared some video over the weekend that showed aftermath of the explosion. They think it came from a gas leak. At least 3 floors of the building's facade are blown out. First responders rescued at least 24 people and a dog from the rubble. Cuban state TV is reporting that there could be survivors still trapped in the hotel's basement. Major retailers are limiting the amount of baby formula people can buy. This comes as shortages increase because of supply chain issues and an FDA shutdown of a manufacturing plant in Michigan. CVS says customers can only buy 3 toddler and infant formulas per transaction. Target is limiting to purchases to 4 units per customer for online sales. There is no cap for in-person shopping right now. Social media posts from Walmart customers show it has a similar policy, but the company has not confirmed that. Right now, the out-of-stock rate of baby formula is at 40%, according to Data Assembly. The legal system is struggling to keep up in court. The Marion County Public Defender's Office needs more lawyers for years' worth of delayed cases. News 8's Adam Pinsker explains what the office is doing to hopefully attract new employees.
The Public Defender's Office is dealing with a backlog of cases that predates the coronavirus pandemic. When jury trials stopped at the height of the pandemic, that only made the problem worse. The chief public defender tells us why this backlog could gunk up the entire legal system. When Marion County Chief Public Defender Bob Hill appeared before the City County Council earlier this year, he talked about how he hired 8 seasoned lawyers on a temporary basis to handle serious crimes because his office was so short-staffed.
I am convinced our attorneys are going to give everyone the best representation they can get.
But hiring and even retaining those attorneys has been a serious challenge. He boosted starting pay from $53,000 to $60,000, but finds that he is losing many of his attorneys to surrounding counties where the pay is better and the workload is lighter.
And you know as well as I do that when you lose trained, skilled people, you have to go, it costs you money. You have to go through a retraining.
Hill stresses that the Public Defender's Office is not below the state's minimum standard for caseload to attorney ratio, but cases are taking longer to adjudicate because his office isn't fully staffed, which could cause a domino effect.
That will cause court backlogs. It will cause backlogs in the jail and jail overcrowding. And it's so all parts of the system.
IUPUI's McKinney School of Law reported that of its 2021 graduating class, 10 graduates went on to be public defenders, while 22 took jobs at prosecutors' offices in Indiana and beyond. Hill is working on ways to make his office competitive with other agencies.
We've considered trying to do a work-from-home schedule that might make things more palatable. A lot of attorneys don't want to do that. Some attorneys do.
The Marion County Prosecutor's Office is also experiencing a shortage in attorneys. We asked Chief Prosecutor Ryan Mears' office for comment, but we did not hear back. Adam Pinsker, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
The 500 Festival Volunteer Program says about half of its 7,000 volunteer positions are still open. There are nearly 50 events and programs that need volunteers. Work includes everything from setup and tear down to customer service. There's no special training needed to get involved. Volunteers will have special access to 500 festival events. They'll get a cool t-shirt and unique collector's pin and virtual goodie bag. Thanks to the hard work of volunteers, the city saw another successful mini marathon on Saturday. And organizers hope that will encourage more people to sign up.
It's been a little tough getting people to sign up to be a volunteer, but I think once some of the events happen at the beginning of May, people are going to remember what it feels like to be a part of them. Some of our events, like the AES 500 Festival Parade at the end of the month, that one we have a lot of volunteers that we're still looking for. And then we do have a Kids Day and Rookie Run that's presented by Salesforce and JP Morgan Chase on the 15th, where we're looking for volunteers as well.
As far as who can volunteer, you must be 16 years old or older or get a parental permission form signed. The dress code is a provided volunteer t-shirt with khaki or black pants, shorts or capris, and comfortable sneakers. All events are rain or shine, so dress according to the weather forecast. Once you sign up online, all volunteers are able to make shift changes and cancellations. And gas prices in Indiana are going up. According to Gas Buddy, Indiana's current average is $4.22 a gallon. That's more than an 18-cent jump over last week. It's also $1.24 more than this time last year. It's still lower than the national average right now, which sits at $4.32 a gallon. And we are proud to announce that the Great Gas Giveaway is underway. Right now, you can enter our contest for a chance to win an $80 gas card. You must go through the Wish TV News app. It's free to download in your app store. If you haven't done it, now's a great time. You can enter every day to increase your chances. Wish TV will start giving away one card every day through the 20th. The winners will be announced on Wish TV on Daybreak beginning tomorrow morning, so beginning Tuesday morning on Daybreak. And finally, the Indiana Fever fell to the LA Sparks in the team's season home opener. It was hard fought. The Fever tied the game 3 times in the second half, eventually losing 87-77. Rookie guard Destiny Henderson actually finished with a career-high 19 points. Still head coach Marion Stanley talked about the loss after the game.
You know, there are some bright spots. Painful as it is to take a loss, I think we got better as a team. And I'm not happy with turnovers, not happy with 58 points in the paint for the other team. Beyond that, I think the rest was, manageable.
The team faces the Minnesota Lynx tomorrow night at 7 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.